think I'm gonna leave this job. Hop off for now. Alright.
Oh, I can hear your game in the background. Your TeamSpeak.
Who? Me? What?
Yeah, you. I can hear your TeamSpeak in the background somehow. I just
My
heard
mic.
someone say they were gonna leave something.
Oh yeah, my mic was muted. I guess it transfers the sound or some shit. It's weird. So, okay, whose screen am I looking at right? Okay, it's your screen, I guess.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do now that we have code blocks up and you've at least got to that point. So code blocks is your IDE, which is Integrated Development Environment. So this is what we're gonna use the program with. So first thing, we'll hit create a new project. And since we're starting out fresh, we'll just go ahead and create an empty project. Hit next, and then you can name it whatever you want. But we're going to be making a, let's just say we're making a ticket booth. So I'm going to name my project Ticket Booth. Don't do it. It's heavy. Delete it. Build a ticket booth, Sebi. I'm going to punch you in the face. Repetitively. Alright, so now once we've got, is everybody to this point? Okay, he's still setting up his. Sebi, if I get banned from YouTube, I'm going to punch you in the face.
This won't get you banned.
Okay, cool. Hey, David, you in here? It says that David Heron is in here.
So the way I have it set, it just captures my screen even if I have the mumble overlay over it or TeamSpeak overlay. You don't see that?
What's that?
Like,
I can't see your thing now.
oh, can you see it now?
No.
How about now?
No. Okay, well now that we have Ticket Booth up, let's right click on there, and the first thing you're going to do is add a file. I'm sorry, actually no you're not. You're going to hit File New. Sorry, I forget that no one has this created yet. So you're going to get New, File,
Wait, where do you go for that?
go up to the top, go to File, right here.
Well, I'm trying to get rid of this fucking screen, or shit, sorry. This screen sharing thing
And you hit New,
at the very top.
and then hit File. And you'll get a dialog. And on this dialog, you'll want to hit C, C++ source. Hit go. It'll bring up another dialog. Just click through it until you get to file name with full path. Make sure these two are checked right here. And then we'll click this. And it should be the exact path where our project is. And type in the name main. Hit save. And finish. You should have a plus sign right next to, whoops, sorry, a plus sign right next to your ticket booth sources, and then inside of there is a main.cpp file. So now that we have the main .cpp file up,
Wait,
okay,
I
go
got a
ahead.
problem.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Click the dot dot dot. Oh,
Wait,
right there,
come
you're
on.
good.
Yeah.
Click that.
You said go to new
Now
and
name
then
it
what?
main. Now hit save. I can't see your screen, Sebby, to help you. Now
Oh,
hit finish.
Yeah, because I had to turn off the one thing. Yeah, let me put it back
Okay,
up.
you're caught up. Now, beside your ticket booth, see the plus? Click that. And then click sources plus, and there it is. It's already open on your development panel. All right, Sebby. Click file. See it? Now hit CPP source, C++ source, and then hit go. Next. Next. Type. Hit the dot 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 beside the file name.
Yep.
Oh, I don't see that now. I don't see it at all.
Alright, but I just put my file name, right?
Yeah, you should just put main.
I don't do debug or release or anything.
You put check boxes on those, and then you hit finish. Trying to figure out how to get to the YouTube page for this. All right, so you're caught up, right, everybody?
Yeah.
All right, if you give me 2 seconds. All right, so now we're going to actually start programming. That's just the startup to get everything set up so that we can actually type some stuff in. Let me just post this message to someone. Alrighty, so. Alright, for the first thing, just to give you an idea about what C++ is. C++ is an industry standard programming language. Inside of C++, it really doesn't contain much on its own. So, like, it has no way to actually put things on the screen, anything like that. We have to use libraries to do that. To get to a library, you have to type something like include, then whatever you want to include. So, IOStream is input-output stream. So that's typically the first thing you'll want to put. And then using namespace standard std, so std. Now using namespace std has something to do with classes, which we'll go over at a later time. That's a little more advanced.
Is that a semicolon or a colon after std?
Semicolon. You'll always end any functional line with semicolons. It's to tell it the compiler to go to the next line, or that it's a string of commands are done.
And
So,
what would colon stand for?
A colon?
Yeah, if you just did like a regular colon.
In that case, it wouldn't do anything. It would actually throw a compiler fault. Normally, the only time that you'll use 2 colons to do a scope delimiter, but for us, we'll put int main void like that, curly brackets.
Is that space in between main and void?
No, you just put parentheses. Now, this is your standard template for the main, where the main function of the program. Now, what a main function does is it's the starting point for the program. Just to give you a quick overview on it, and we'll go more in depth on it, but a function is made up of 3 parts here for the function head call. There is the name, the function name, the parameters, or what information it can take in. Okay, and since we made it void, it can't take anything. And then the return. What type of data can come out of a function? And ours is an int, or an integer, which is a 32-bit integer. It's not really important, but pretty much it can go. An integer is a whole number. You should learn that in high school, but it's a whole number. positive or negative. So in this case, it's about negative 2 billion to about positive 2 billion. Any number in between those. We can get into that a little later too. So now you have your first function. Now the program will actually build and run. We can go ahead and test that just by hitting build. Or well, we want to first put return 0 real quick right there, because we tell it that it's going to return integer, so we need it to at least return something. And then you can build it by hitting build, and then this build right here. Once you've done that, you can hit the play button for debug.
Can you repeat that real fast
Yeah.
again?
Well, all you got to hit you see this right here, this gear on my screen?
Yeah.
Build. You can click that. That's the build. And down here, you'll see the building happening. So for me, I'm going to hit rebuild just to make it where you can see it. But see how it pops up a bunch of data. It says how big the file was. Once you've done that, you've actually created an executable file. So now you can hit the play button.
Did you add that return 0?
Yes, the return 0, all it does is it causes it to return 0 back to the system. Because remember we said that the return statement here, what data it can return, it's expecting it to return an integer. 0 is an integer. So when you use it, when you hit play, it should show you something like this. Hit cancel, please. Hit cancel. Okay. Now hit play, the play button.
Oh, never mind. Hit the wrong one.
Okay. So yeah, so yours took about 0.052. So what kind of processor are you using? Just as a question.
A350.
Oh, really? Yeah, me too. Mine's running a little slower than yours.
And took 0.003.
0.003?
Yeah.
What are you running?
i7.
Oh, okay. Did it really? Hit play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it.
You should be able to see it on my screen right now.
No, you don't. You didn't share your screen. You shared just code blocks.
Oh, hold on. Wait a second.
No, but see, that actually is like a little bit of a demo on how fast your computer's running right there. You're running a little bit faster than me for some reason.
How dare I?
Sebi, yours is not working.
There should
Okay.
be up now.
Now hit play. Holy crap. Sebi just makes us all look dumb. All right, cool. So you've actually made, like right here, this is a program. It runs and it does something, but it really doesn't do much, right? So let's just click any key so we can get out of there. Now we'll go on and we're going to actually get something done. We're going to do the first program that as far as I know, almost every programmer makes for their first project. The hello world. So we're going to say hello. So the first command you will learn is cout. Means console out. So we're putting something to the console. So we point 2 arrows like this, and then we can put our text. So put hello, comma, world. And then end it with a semicolon. Tell me once you get to that point, Dave. Or is your name Dave?
No.
No?
Marvin.
Marvin. Yeah, your Dave thing messes me up. Okay, so make sure you end it with semicolon. And now build it. And then play it. And you should see hello world at the top of the screen. Everything work for everybody? Sup, y'all? Alright, so that's your first program. Now we're going to actually make it do some stuff that's useful, because obviously that's boring. But this is an actual full program you've created. We'll go ahead and we're going to create our ticket booth. So we naturally would want it to say something. So let's make it say something meaningful. I'm going to say welcome ticket is $5. How much do you have? Question mark. Then you can hit end L. You can put end L at the after with another set of these arrows. There's a bitwise shift, and it will make it actually like almost like hitting enter, so it'll go to the next line. So if you can build that, and you can actually look and see that it says what you asked. Tell me once you get that far. Let me look. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, yours will build. So now we need to start getting into variables. So I'm gonna say, did you graduate high school, Marvin?
In the process.
Okay,
A few more
so
weeks.
you've at least taken algebra, right?
Yeah, I just took my EOC and of course exam today
Okay, cool. For algebra 1 or 2?
too.
Okay, cool. So you know about variables. So we're going to actually declare some variables and use and do algebra with it. So the first thing is, let's create an integer. So we put int. That's when you put int, it defaults to what your compiler is built for. And in this case, it's typically a 32-bit integer. Like I said before, it can go from negative 2 billion-ish to about positive 2 billion-ish. So that's about 4 billion numbers it can possibly be. And we're going to call it user cache. Now, we're going to make it equal 0 to start with. So usually when people create variables, you name them something that makes sense. So when you're looking through your source code, it's simple to like look at it and be like, okay, that's what it does. In this case, the user's cache is how much we're asking for. Well, usually when you write your variables, your first letter is underscore, or I mean lowercase, and then every subsequent word that's added on, use uppercase to show. So user cache in pocket, we would put it something like this, just to make it easier to read. Make sense? Anything doesn't
Yeah.
make sense or I'm going too fast, just tell me, and I can slow down. So what this does is it is actually declaring this variable user cache as an integer. So it's saying it's a number, a whole number. And we're going to go ahead and assign it the number 0 to make sure it's blanked out, because that way we don't get any false data in there. So now the program's going to ask somebody how much cash do they have, how much money do they have. We're going to want to get input from the user. So we'll take console input, which happens to be cin for console in. We'll put arrows going away from it bitwise, and it goes into our variable user cache. Okay. So literally, what's happening is you're typing with the C out. You're actually putting that string of characters into the console, right, and making it come out on the screen. And in this case, we're taking something from the console in, and putting it into our variable. So it's going to be expecting the person to type in an integer, and it's going to store it inside this variable that we declared.
The arrows are the other direction because we're expecting some input, right?
Yes, it's because it's coming from the opposite way. Just think of it that way. That's the easiest way to remember it. You're taking, this is where the console is. These commands are where the console is, right? And we're taking from the console to put it in the variable in this case. And in this case, where we're wanting our text to go on the screen, we're taking our text and sending it to the console. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Those operators are actually a little more advanced, but that's something you'll learn a little later. They have a reason for being the way they are, because they're shifting bits, but we'll go over that later. So now we're able to take in input. Well, let's do something with the input. We're going to say cout endl to make an enter, because the person types. We don't want it to go right after the person types. So we'll endl. Then we'll say something like you have, and we'll put a dollar sign. Okay? End our quotations. And we'll send it another bit of data, which is going to be the user cache. So between every command that you're gonna, or everything that you're gonna send to the cout, you have to put these arrows. So literally what's happening is it's hitting enter. After we type something in, it hits enter. And then it puts out you have dollar sign, and then it puts the variable user cash on the screen. And then it hits enter again. So now if we build our project, we hit play, we'll have a console that's asking us to type something in. You'll see the underscore. Now you type in a number, make sure it's a whole number because remember it's an integer. So if we say $365, hit enter, you should get something that says you have $365 per se. So now you've actually taken input from the user and done something with it by putting it back on the screen. But obviously that's not enough because we're actually trying to sell them a ticket, correct? So we need to be able to do something with that money. So now I'm going to teach you. Do you know what logic is? Have you ever heard of the word logic?
No.
Okay, so logic is all about Boolean states. Yeses and nos, trues and falses, ones and zeros. So when you are talking about Boolean, we're literally asking, is something true or is it false? And then we're going to act on that. So to do that, we typically use an if statement, and we use parentheses, and then we put something inside those parentheses and see if it equals true or false. So in this case, we can say user cash is greater than 5. So what we're doing is we're seeing if the user's money is greater than the $5 mark, equal to or greater than, I'm sorry. So we'll need to put an equal to or greater than. So you put curly brackets underneath it. So in the case that the user cash is equal to or greater than 5, which is how much we're asking for, then we're going to do something inside those brackets. And in that case, we're going to say, welcome to the show. No. Now, in the case that they don't have the $5, we can say else, which means otherwise. Please come back with more money. Does that make sense? Indel needs to be lowercased. In C++, the case matters on everything. So if you say you name user cache as all lower cases, but then in one of them you uppercase one of the letters, it will matter. Go ahead and delete those. Yep. Go ahead and delete those other ones real quick. There you go. Hit space once. Now go to the end of that and hit enter. Now you can type your else statements. So what that's doing is it's going to ask if the user cache is equal to or greater than 5. If that is true, then it's going to do that first block. Else, it will do this other block. You understand that?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's what is called logic. You getting all this, Sebi? Making sense to you?
Yeah, we went over this last time.
Okay,
Just,
cool.
playing with it.
Yeah, at least it'll, it'll teach you something. Make sure you got it cemented in your head.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Put it all in the same line there. Go ahead and go back to the back. Oh, you don't have to back. Oh, okay. It was too late. I tried. Something funny is that it actually still would have worked the other way. It just would have looked bad. Yeah, it wouldn't look good. So now we can build it. Actually, you see your equal to or greater than? Flip the equal sign to the other side.
Wait.
Where it says user cache equal to? Yeah, flip the equal sign to the other side. The equal has to be on the opposite side. So let's build it. And we'll run it. how much do you have? So I'm going to say $6. It says, welcome to the show. You hit $5, it said, welcome to the show. Now let's try $1 or $2 or whatever you want. So, see if it works. So there you go. So it works. And that's good. So now we have the program works for the designed our goal, right? So we wanted to make a thing that if someone put in a certain amount of money or had so much money, it would say yes or no. But why don't we make it a little bit more functional by telling the person how much money they had before and after, if they have enough money, and then if they don't have enough money, tell them how much more money to bring with them. So that makes it a little more complex, right? But more functional. So I'm going to hit enter right at where that welcome to the show see how it is. I'm going to actually press enter so it drops down. And I'm going to create another integer called remaining cash. Make it equal user cash minus 5. Okay, so now we have this new integer called remaining cash. So we can hit enter right after that, and we'll make us a statement that says cout you had, put a $sign, and then after the $sign, put the arrows, hit remaining, or put user cash, another set of arrows, make sure you put, when you put the quotes, put a space because it's going to print it exactly how you put it. So before, now you have, put a $sign. We can put remaining cash up there. Then in the L. So you got to make sure you send it the remaining cash, because now it wouldn't actually put anything on the screen there. You see how you say before comma, now you have arrows. You need to make sure after that,
Okay.
yeah, make the variable come in there. There you go. Then the arrows. Okay, so now we got that working. At the beginning of your second or third line right there, at line 16, your cout needs to be backed up one dot. There you go, one space. So there you go, just for looks. Now let's go down to the else statement. Let's create we can create an integer. Actually, we're not even going to create an integer. We're just going to do it on the fly. So just leave it as one line, and we'll delete our quotes a little bit. We'll say, please come back with, and then a $sign. And then we're going to send it this. We're going to put 5 minus user cash. Yeah, I did that. So what it's going to do is it's actually going to it's actually going to run that right there and actually take 5, subtract the amount that the user has, and return and put that on the screen. So now we need to go up here again in our first if, and at the end of it hit enter, so we can get we need to make sure that our user cache is updated. So user cache equals remaining cash, because remember we subtracted the money but we never updated the user's cache, so if he went to buy another ticket it wouldn't show. All right. Once you put your thing, you hit build and run. You can try out whatever number you want to put. And then you can try it with too little. Now, see, that doesn't sound right. The please come back with $3 or $2. So we can actually go back to our thing and make it sound better just by adding more. And then that'll make it sound a lot better. But other than that, program works for that. So do you roughly get what we're doing there?
Roughly.
Okay. All right. So you can build it and run it and see if the update happened. All right. Everything good with you, Sebi?
Oh yeah, I'm just catching up. It tends to end up
I'm
adding
not
a
even.
bit more.
I'm not gonna look at yours. I've already learned.
There's no curse word.
Okay. I just still don't feel safe. I never know with him, man.
Shit.
So so this is a simple program you've created now that can take in user input and then do logic on it. But what if we had a bunch of people come up and we wanted to handle a line of people, right? We could actually create a little bit more of a program by we could create a bunch of arrays, or I mean not a bunch of arrays, but a bunch of users by sitting like doing this. Just watch me. I'm not actually going to do it this way. Like that, right? That would take a lot. So say if there's like 20 people, you could, and you only did 10 of these variables, you could only handle 10, right? Well, we can actually create something called an array. Which do you know what an array is?
It's like where you duplicate something maybe
Yeah.
along an axis.
Yeah, okay, yeah, perfectly. Yeah. So if you got it's a variable that has multiple dimensions, right? So instead of it just being a single variable, say x, you can actually have x and then have 10 values inside of x. So x0 would be one number, x1 would be another number. So what we can do is actually create a different way of handling some of this stuff. So what I'm going to do is actually create um, a multi-user system. So we'll create a cout and say, welcome, how many people in line? We'll create an integer before that says number of customers. 0, make a sin to take in number of customers. Wow, if I could spell today. Now what I'm doing here is creating that variable that we had user cache, and I'm actually creating an array by using brackets. You put the number of people, or I'll let you catch up real quick. So if you see above that, I put int number of customers. So we're declaring a variable to hold the number of people. And then what you're doing is what you're typing now is you're taking in the input to see how many people we have. You misspelled number on the number of customers on your declaration. That's why it didn't auto-populate for you. One less O. Needs to be, check your spelling on customers. There you go.
I'm not too good at speller.
No, you're good, man. Honestly, the reason why you misspelled that was because I cut you off in the middle of writing it. So what I did there is the reason I did that was just so it would, go down a line after the person typed. And then now, you see your int user cache. What I did was I put the brackets at the end. Go ahead and delete back to user cache right there. I used the brackets, the ones that are next to your backslash above enter. Yeah. And so now then you type in number of customers because what it's going to do is create an array as big as the number of people that you set are in line. And then end it with a semicolon. So now there you go. So we got that part. So hit enter and put a line between it. Go ahead and hit enter again. Now what we're going to do next is create what they call a for loop. Now what it does is it goes through and it loops however many times we tell it to. And it will just keep running the same block of code so many times, right? So what we're going to do is type for. And it's going to be a parentheses block. Int. Declare an int inside the parentheses. We're going to call it x. Make it equal 0. Semicolon. X is less than number of customers. Then we're going to put a semicolon. We're going to say x plus plus. Now, so what x plus plus does is it takes x and makes it pretty much does x equals x plus 1. So it just increments x by 1. So it adds 1 to x. Then we're going to hit enter and make brackets, curly brackets. So inside of here is where we're going to actually do most of our event processing. So what I'm going to actually do is just modify what code we already created. I'm going to actually grab all of it, control exit, paste it. Just hold control, like grab it again, and hold control and hit X. Now click inside your for loop. Now hit your right key, your right D-pad key, a little bit to make sure it's all the way on the end, and then
Right
hold.
D-pad.
There you go. Hold control and hit V for paste. So now go ahead and you see where it's. You just need to go up to all those and hit Tab. Not that. Go down. Hit backspace. Right there, Sin, and then every line from there, just go down and hit Tab on it once. It just makes it look cleaner, so it's easier to read. Now you're gonna want to do it to every line though, even the curly brackets down. Go up right below your if statement. Even your if statement. You see your if statement?
If.
Actually hit backspace on that one. Down, down. And that one, hit tab. And then on the next line, keep going. Hit tab. And the reason you do this is it makes it easy to see what are blocks. All right, and now inside the else brackets. Don't tab that one over. Bring the else back. I click right before cout and tab it. Now, you see that last bracket on 32, line 32? Click right before it. Go right before it. Hit the right button. And hit backspace. That'll cause it to line up correctly. See how it blues? It tells you what block it goes to. All right, so now we have that inside of there. We're going to go ahead and make this so it runs correctly. So each time it runs through, it's going to run this thing of code and say, is X less than number of customers? If so, then we'll quit. So it goes on and it goes to this return statement. But if it doesn't, then it runs it again and it upgrades X by 1. So what we'll do is we could say welcome, put a in the quotes there, then X, or we're going to say welcome user X like that. What that's going to do is it's actually going to put the user that we're using on the screen. Begin your quotes again. There you go. Perfect. And then, so that's going to just make it where it's more personalized for the user. And then we're going to want to input, but we're going to want to input to the user that it is for what user variable. So we need to make sure it goes to the right array position. So we put those square brackets after user cache and put X inside of it. And pretty much for every user cache, we need to do that in our code. Because now it's not just a singular variable. It's an array, so we need to make sure it's always going to the correct value.
So you just put a bracket X on, after each user cache.
Yes, exactly. Because if you remember, this thing's incrementing each time. So the first time it's going to go to 0, which is the first value in X, or first value of user cache, right? The first variable we stored of it, and it's going to run all the way through here. So we want it to go every time to the exact same one because you don't want it to be going to the wrong one. So in this case, it'll go to every one of them and do it right. Then the next time it'll increment it by 1, so then it'll become it'll be X will equal 1, and then it'll go through the 1 spot. Now, one little quick thing is, or one thing is that in C++, the first value is always 0. So when we user cache bracket, you would think that the first customer would be number 1, right? So X would be 1 for the first one, but it actually starts on 0. So in that case where it says welcome user, we will want to put a +1 after it so that it says 1. It's going to be 0 the first time, and that'll keep us from making it look ugly.
I really hate myself for making this so complicated.
That's hard. It's much harder to keep up.
I don't know where I'm at right now.
I'll help you catch up in a second. So hit build and play. And now it'll say welcome, how many people are in line. Let's say I'm gonna say 3, so
I have a red little box at line 29.
Okay, yeah. Let me look. Now see down, I'm gonna teach you something real quick. See down at the bottom where it says logs and others? So what does that say? It says error. What does that say? Cont was not, what does that say?
Cont was not declared in the scope.
Cont. Where did you put cont?
It says like COUT.
Okay. Okay, you see that where it says error? The first error, it says error stray blank something in the program. Click
Yeah.
that. Double click it. It says line 23. So go to line 23.
Thought that was line 29.
Yeah, but that one's on line. Does it say 29? Oh, it says 29. I'm sorry. You see that little apostrophe?
Okay. Yeah.
Delete that. There you go. So now you hit build, and it should work. There you go. Hit play. You can put in a number of how many people you want to try out. I'd keep it small. So now it's going to ask you for the first. Oh wait, did yours? Hold on. Hit that key. Drag yours down. Drag that when you. Oh wait, you just typed another number. Oh,
Okay.
hey, right there. That says cont. You need to make that say cout. That was your old program. It didn't build. So now hit build. There you go. Now hit play. So say a number. How many ever you think. How much money does the user one have? So you can go ahead and go all the way through it and just keep doing them. All right, so it works. You can actually go through a bunch of people. So, um, what is there any type of features that if you owned a, let's say you own a movie place, right? A movie theater. Um, so this is your little program to get people in and out, right? What would be a feature that would be important for you as a businessman?
A receipt, I guess.
Yeah, something like to maybe tell us how much we made or how many people are in our theater, right? So go up, we can go up to the top because just because there's a certain number of customers doesn't mean that they actually got in, right? Because some of them didn't have enough money. So let's create a new integer called um, we'll call it receipts. Make it equal 0. And then we'll create another one called um, accepted customers or something like that equals 0. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you spell it right. Just make sure that you spell it the same way every time. That's all that matters. Because honestly, you could just type random characters, and as long as it's the same random characters, it doesn't care. How are you doing, Sebi? Caught up, or are you dying?
Alright, well, there's kind of like one thing that I'm.
Okay, go ahead. While he's typing his up, tell me what's up with you.
Alright, so, I put how many people there. So you got one person. And, you put in your money. I, of course, put the options about being too poor and whatnot. And then, you just have like $500. It's. Now, see, it kind of just like goes
Welcome
through all of
home,
this.
shizzle, whizzle, dizzle, my folk, kizzle. Entrance is $20 bills, y'all. You
And,
had
see, it
500
just kind of goes
bills,
past.
and you get 480 tax cash bills. Well, oh my goodness. All right. So what are you stuck on, or did you just want me to have to watch this?
No. See, I want it to be like welcome. The entrance is $20 bills, y'all, and then you kind of like hit enter, like, do you want to pay this? But it just kind of like goes through all of that. It's like just took your money.
Okay, hit enter. Let me look at your thing. All right. So you said you have blah blah blah. Interest is $20. But you want it to do what? You want it
All
to
right.
ask you if you want to actually come in?
Yeah.
Okay, so all you have to do is right after it says how much cash or welcome to blah blah blah. I would tell them the price at least there. Oh wait, so you want it entrance is $20 bills and then you want it to do that part. Okay. So right after that bracket, so down, Just make a new line. There you go. Hit enter. Now, right there, you're going to want to make your option, right? So what you could do is you could put C out and create a thing that says, put arrows and say, and put like one, or say, do you want to enter? And then put, and then put a space, then hit 1, and then put a half a parentheses thing. And like
Wait.
give them like a menu. So hit space,
Space.
1,
1.
and then your parenthesis, like kind of like a bullet.
Bullet.
Yeah, no, like a parentheses. Go ahead. 1 parenthesis. No, other way. The opposite way.
Opposite way. What? Wait, I don't
Yeah.
even know what's going on right now.
Shift 0.
Shift 0. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I had.
No, that's not right.
Oh wait. Sorry.
Yeah, that's shift 0. Hit space. Hit yes. Type in yes.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And then hit 2, and then no.
Alright.
And then at the end of that, go next. Now indel. And you can watch this, Marvin. This might give you some ideas. This is how you make a menu.
I am.
Hit enter. Now, int space user input
So wait.
capital I.
All right.
Yep. And then equals 0. Okay, in that line and hit enter. Send, and then put that input into user input.
Do you say send
No, send, like take the console input and put it inside of user input.
like this?
No, CIN. Wait.
CIN. Oh, okay.
I always just say send, so just
Alright.
I say C out and I say send.
All right. Okay. Count.
Count, count and kin. All right, yeah. So you are dumb. Go ahead and put that in user input, and then now we're gonna handle it with the if logic. So watch this really close, Marvin, because this is some other logic things you can do. So end it in that line and hit enter. Now hit enter one more time and hit up, just so it's cleaner looking. Go up.
Okay.
Now hit if, and put my parentheses up, and then user input is equal to, so it's double equals, remember that, because equal is an assignment operator. So if you put equal, it will store whatever is on the right side into the left side. If you put equal, it says if these two things are equal, return true. So now hit space, now hit 1. Now go hit enter, or enter brackets. Now go down, scroll down. Now grab what you typed before and put it inside of there. Now fix that crap. Tab, yeah. That's so ugly. Alright, now right after that, hit enter. And you honestly can just hit else. Because it doesn't matter what they type in, it's not a yes. So, and then you can type whatever you want them to do. And then I would have it, yeah, that's it. Just do that.
Alright,
So type it whatever you want it to happen. So now we'll go back to getting the other part that we're adding. So, like we said, we're wanting to create the thing where it tells us how much we're made and how much accepted customers, right? So what we would do is just track every time that this block was true, right, Marvin? So at the end of it, we could literally just say accepted customers plus plus. What does plus plus do, Marvin?
Plus it just adds one after another.
Exactly. It's an incrementer. So it increments 1 to the accepted customers. Good job. Now we also want to say receipts. Now here's a cool trick, another one. Plus equal 5. What that does is, all it does is it says, it's pretty much like doing the exact same thing as an incrementer, but it does it by 5. Or whatever number you put at the end of it. It just makes it look pretty. now we're going to want to say something. So right before your return statement down here, we're going to want to say something. So let's do cout indel and do 2 of these indels. And we're going to type something like day totals indel cout customers served. Then we'll say accepted customers indel cout money received. Here, just make it look pretty. Oh wait, we don't even need that. And then there. So you get what that's doing, right?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What?
I can't do builds anymore. It's like debugging or something. It's,
Yeah, you got, okay, hit okay. Let's see, look at your debugs down at the bottom. You see that red line?
yeah,
Double click that. What does it say? Expected before.
return. I put
Yep.
I put it right here.
Mhm.
So
Okay, so let's look at it. What's wrong with it? That's all good. So somewhere in your program, it looks like there's a missing semicolon, possibly.
my God.
Hold on. See you. And now, give me a second. And then write cache. Now. Well, you don't even need that statement in the first place. This is a note, but it doesn't matter. There's still a problem. But go up some. Semicolon, semicolon. Go down. Zebby, why'd you have to do this? I hate semicolon problems. I told you about the time I had like 2 months worth of just searching for this crap. Okay, well, I'm gonna show you something. Like you see, the entrance is $20 bill, y'all. Your if statement's gone. Actually, there shouldn't be whatever those brackets are shouldn't be there. See
Hey,
those? Yeah,
there?
that right there. Yeah, that's why it's missing. That has no need there. So delete the other one. Now straighten up your code. Fix yourself. Picture doing this all by hand in a text editor.
I don't want to.
That's how I started out. So there you go. You should be able to build. Hit build.
No, yeah. See, that's the whole thing. It doesn't actually let me build
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. It won't let you build if there's a problem. So hit build.
I can't.
Try again.
No, like it's grayed out.
Hit debug. Hit the debug button, like at the top. At the top.
Oh, whoops.
Go to the debug menu option.
Start. Continue.
No. Click what? Okay. Why did you hit? Then go back to build.
Still grayed out. I think I actually successfully broke the program.
Okay. Hit file save and restart. I don't know how you did what you did, but you did it. It doesn't like fixing semicolons either. You just committed a crime in the C++ world
Nice.
by pissing off the compiler. Okay, so in your case, if you'll look there, do you know what you did wrong? Well, first off,
Oh, these aren't green.
Cont is not a word.
I keep on messing it up. That's That's what I do.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I was like, well, that's a problem. And then accepted customers. Okay, look at your accepted cut. See how it says accepted customers is not. You didn't spell it correctly. There you go. So now you hit build. It should build. So now you can hit play. Now we can try it out and see what happens. So I'm gonna say like 4 people. First person's not gonna have enough. Second person's gonna have enough. Mine didn't display the stupid thing. Did yours?
Display the receipt.
Oh, mine might have done it. I just didn't even pay attention. I just kept going. Oh, I never built mine because I was too busy fixing his. So 5. Let's go. Yeah, so there you go. Tells you how many customers you served and how much money you received.
Why is Okay, never mind. I get it.
So something cool now we can do is what if the price changes, right? But we want it hard. Let's say we want to hard code it into the program though, so no one can change it, right? So we want to declare a variable, but we don't want anybody to ever be able to change it, right? Unless they change the program we build it. Say we're building this for our company, but we want to build the program. No user could go in there and change it like a worker. So what I will do is we'll declare a constant. So at the top, under using namespace standard, I'm going to type const int price equals. I'm going to change it to. I'm going to put 6 this time. And just make it equal 6, or whatever you want to make it. Make it whatever price you want if you want to change the price. Okay. So now all the places where we put the price, right? So like welcome user ticket is $5, so we need to change that. So let's go down there and we'll edit the text a little bit. Now you just put that in there just like a regular variable, but if you try to edit it, like add to it or anything, like make it equal something different, it will throw a fault. Actually, don't change it. Don't put ticket is $7. We're going to use the variable that you created. So quote.
Wait,
Just put a quote.
Okay. Well,
And then put another quote. Now between those quotes, hit space a couple times. Now go all the way. Yeah, there you go. And I hit arrows to the left. No. Go right. Go right. Go arrows. Your shift comma. Yep. Now type the variable.
the variable.
Yep. Price. And the arrows again. All right. Now down where we do the receipts plus equal 5, we're going to put price. And then user cash minus 5, we're going to put price. And then user cash is greater than or equal to, we're going to make price. So pretty much anywhere there's a 5, you're going to put price. So there's a couple more. Line 26 and line 24. And now we can build it. Excuse me. And you can run right through it. So it worked. So you actually right now could create a usable program, something that's useful. Is this the? Do you feel like you've learned a little bit, or?
Well, I've learned quite a bit, going from knowing pretty much nothing.
Okay. Um. All right. I'm gonna stop the broadcast, but I'm gonna keep you on here.